All right. Happy Labor Day, everybody. Welcome back. I am at the end of my preparations in my courses, and I have passed my final exams in the courses themselves for life insurance and health insurance and long-term care / Medicare insurance course. Yes. So lots of studying to do. I had to do 40 hours in the first two combined courses and then 10 hours in the Medicare long-term supplement course. And by the end of it, I will say I was starting to get a lot of jumbled up on lots of ideas and things. I've been making a few different study tools and tips and little Instagram posts. It's very minimal right now, but just trying to get all of the terminology straightened out in my brain. Definitely still have a little bit more studying to do for the Medicare stuff. But right now I'm in the process of going through all the review and submitting my information to the different licensing groups. So what I am doing next in the process, I'm following my step-by-step guide here. I have completed my final exams and I have certificates for passing those exams. Next, you go to the NIPR, the National Insurance Producer Registry, and you put your information in there. I'm learning what information I need to apply. I've got some questions that I get answered from my company before I move forward with that. You register, you put in for your exam license requests, the specific categories that you've been studying for. And then you have to submit your fingerprints, so you got to schedule that out. And then NIPR will send a confirmation authorization so that you can actually schedule to take the state exams. So in the meantime, I have no idea how long that's going to take to actually get to that exam taking process. I am just studying, doing these questionnaires. After you complete at least with Excel. After you complete the initial course, they send you, here's a bunch of review material. It's basically all the materials and then the summaries of the chapters. And then they have just a massive amount of questions that you can just burn through. There's like 800 questions or something. And then you can go and take like the true final or whatever. So you've already passed the course. You have your certifications. It's just time to like practice and regurgitate the knowledge that you've got. So all in all, I have gotten a lot of information checked out. This has been my study binder notebook. I've basically filled out this, I think it was a three subject, 5-star notebook here. And just like keeping tabs of the different subjects, and then the pink was the big end final exam. So, and what I did was, as I was taking those finals, any questions that I got wrong, or even questions that I got right, but I was kind of more guessing at or trying to really formulate the answer to, I would write the information down onto the notebook as I was taking the exam. I did end up passing both of them on my first rounds, but in case you didn't, you now have those questions and you're like, okay, I need to pinpoint my knowledge on that specific target. So definitely go in with a plan, go in with some notes while you're taking these exams and going through these courses. Treat it like actual school. Don't just kind of burn through it. I think I was reading some of the statistics here, and one of them was saying, candidates who complete the preparatory courses have an 81% chance of passing your exam the first time through. And I'm like, I am definitely going to be doing that. I imagine that the 19% of people who did not pass on that first time did not put in enough honest study to get through those things. So, I mean, if that's you, I'm sorry, I'm not knocking you at all. Everybody's got different test taking skills. I'm a strong test taker. That's just one of my strengths. And if you are not a strong test taker, then that in itself is a challenge and may have nothing to do with your study habits. So if that is you and you are looking for processes to help you succeed better with your test taking, I'm happy to chat about that stuff. Again, I was a teacher for 10 years. Lots of standardized testing, lots of proctoring for those exams, lots of preparation for those exams. So I get it. Not everybody's a strong test taker. So if that is you, we can chat. I'm happy to put some information in the comments. We can do a whole video series on how to prepare for these kinds of exams if you are a weak test taker. So anyway, this was my process. It worked for me. I'm going to continue going through this information as I am learning, go back and look at the areas where I took extra particular notes on. I really am appreciating my foresight. There we go. Foresight on each subject was divided by each of the units, like chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and so on. So this was life insurance. This was the healthcare, and then the next round at the top, the green ones at the top here, was the Medicare and supplement policies. So be organized, keep yourself organized. I do honestly recommend go with the handwritten route. They're going to supply so many digital notes. I know that everybody's taking notes in the digital age, but if you want it to stick up here, truly, the science has shown writing things down is going to be far more effective than you trying to type it all out, because yes, it's searchable, but you're going to get a PDF by the end of this thing anyway, and you're going to have that printed documentation. So take it or leave it. That's my suggestion for your study habits. I'm happy to chat more about what the next part of this process is. Once I have actually scheduled the exam, I'll come back in and make another video on how I am taking these 800 questions and just doing stuff over and over and over. But other than that now, I'm just repeating this information until it's up there. Looking at the exams themselves, I'm looking at the Pearson VUE exam outlines, and these are basically telling you how many questions are on the exam, the percentage or weight of each chapter zone that is within that test. I am taking 3 exams, so each of these is going to be 55 questions. Let's see, total scored questions on exam 55. Total scored questions. Maximum time allowed is 75 minutes. Passing score, you only need a 70, y'all. You only need a 70. So that is doable. All of the exam prep is like pass, get a 75 or higher, get an 80 or higher. If you're getting those scores in your curriculum prep, then you're going to be just fine on these state exams. At least I anticipate so. So they're a lot shorter than the ones that you've been preparing for. So if you are going through those exams in the courses and you're taking your time, and you can get through, I think it was something like 150 questions, and you can finish that in an hour. That's a good speed. You're going to be just fine on these state exams. They've got 50 questions or 55 questions, and you've got 75 to 105 minutes to do them. And again, if you have that information on recall ready to go, you're going to burn through this thing and be done with each one in like 20 to 30 minutes. Take your time. I think that the biggest stumbling block that I continued to hit was I was reading through the questions and answers too fast, and I was missing things like except, or all of these things are false except, or the following is true, and then I would like just jumble up. Like I would see one answer, be like, oh, that's wrong, click it, but then there were 2 other wrong answers, and you're trying to look for the right answer. So make sure that you are taking your time to read the actual question, is my biggest suggestion there. Because again, once you have the knowledge and the facts, it's a very fact-based exam. You just know the stuff. You're not trying to like do a whole lot of math. You're not trying to do, I imagine that there would be a tiny little bit of math, just like figuring out so-and-so has $10 million in blah, 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 and their deductible is blah, 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 and how much is left to pay. It's like, if you're an 80-20, then you're paying the 20% deductible or whatever. So I know that's a really high deductible, bad example. But yeah, just go in prepped, be ready. You're going to do just fine. I'll touch back in a little bit. Thanks for following.